Hi everyone, welcome to a bonus reading vlog that I was not planning on filming, but it is very rainy outside, as you will have seen from the opening clip, and it is quite frankly the perfect reading weather for a lazy weekend. I am planning on reading Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle today, which is a book that I've been waiting to come in as a library hold for ages. It's a book that a while back Brad had mentioned on his channel, and I'd mentioned that I was interested in reading it, and both Brad and Carter had said that this is a great place to start for someone who is new to Chuck Tingle's work. And so I'm very excited. I'm planning on reading it. It is just past, which this book does have a character who is asexual and aromantic, I believe, so appropriate, and I don't think I managed to fit in as many books as I would have liked during Ace Awareness Week. We're going to read one now. I am going to get rid of some jewelry and bits and pieces in a minute because I've just finished the live show for Archangel's Kiss with Heather and Megan, and I need to get some lunch, and then we are going to sit down, we are going to read, we're going to have a cozy afternoon reading a book and hopefully not scare myself silly because this book does fit into horror and I'm a scaredy cat, but it's still daylight, so that's why we're going to read it during the day. Lunch is a tuna, tomato and lettuce sandwich. Look, there's even green stuff on it. I'm being a responsible adult today. And yes, I say tuna because I'm from Australia. We pronounce our vowels differently. So let's try and do some regular check-ins. I am 22% of the way into the book, and I thought this would be a good place to start because some of the creepy stuff has just started to creep in to the book. And this is the story of Misha, who is a scriptwriter in Hollywood, and he writes queer horror scripts and stories and is very invested in telling queer stories. At the start of the story, we find out he's been nominated for an Oscar for one of his stories and that he's been called in to the studios where he is contracted for his current job, and has just been told that the two characters that they have been building a queer relationship with for 2 seasons, he either has to make them straight or they can be gay, but he has to kill them. And he is not thrilled with that. And to top it all off, as he's leaving the studio, the very creepy, very misogynistic, sexist guy who works there, who's an animator, is squished by a piano right in front of him. There's also some discussions around the studio basically creating a film using a fully CGI actor who has passed away. Like, not even, he wasn't there for any of the filming of it, he's been dead for years, and they created an entire film with him as the lead as a CGI actor. So without knowing all that very much about the plotline of the story, clearly there is some plotline in here around big corporations, around money driving sales, around homophobia, and obviously some kind of AI CGI discussion, which is cool because that stuff deeply fascinates me. So anyway, after all of that happens, we begin to learn more about Misha, and that he is out in Los Angeles, but he is not out to his family in Montana. He has a boyfriend, Zeke. He has a best friend, Tara, who also works for the studio. She is the one who is asexual and aromantic. There's a couple of really cool, there's definitely one line in there that I'm like, that resonates so much with me as an ace woman. He's out with Tara, and as they're leaving to head home, they encounter, first of all, a fan of Misha's, and then they also encounter someone they perceive is dressed up in a cosplay of one of the characters from a horror script that Misha wrote, called, oh god, The Smoking Man. And the guy looks exactly like he should, uncannily so, and asks them this question that is the signature of this character, which is, have you got a light? The story behind the script that Misha wrote being that the easiest way to avoid the smoking man is to give him a light. And so Misha always carries, for whatever reason, he always carries matches in his pocket. But when this guy, they assume is in cosplay, asks him, he can't find the matches in his pocket. And then strange things begin happening. Yes, it is creepy, but it is talking about things that I have very strong opinions on, and I am obviously in alignment sort of with Chuck Tingle's ideology from what I gather. So it's going to be very, very interesting. So that updating regularly didn't happen. I'm at 71% of the book. It's a really interesting book. I did catch a reference to Camp Damascus, which I haven't read, but I know that that book exists, so that will probably be something I come back to at some point. This is very interesting, very creepy. All right, so basically from here on out, consider the rest of this video spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, don't keep watching, because this book is creepy as only storylines involving artificially intelligent, non-human inventions can be. Because Misha discovers that the studio that he works with has bought out a company that does the CGI work for that film that was fully performed by a CGI actor. However, when Misha stumbles across sort of the office of this company, he sees that actor walking out of the building. That actor also then goes and kills someone that Misha knows, and Misha is there to witness it, which prompts him to go back and uncover exactly what is going on and why this dead actor is walking around. This would make a fabulous movie. Like, it would be terrifying. I could not watch it. I'm glad I'm reading this book during the day, but it would make a fabulous movie. So I just want to keep reading, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm done. I finished Bury Your Gaze. This book is fantastic. I loved it. And I think there are so many cool things that it did. Tara is one of my favorite characters. She is just awesome. She saves the day. Of course she would. And she's just an awesome best friend and someone who sticks by Misha, doesn't question what's going on. Just jump straight in with it. Zeke, the boyfriend, is like, he also doesn't question anything, but he's also much more of a quiet side character. Tara's much more of an active participant in everything that's going on. And I loved her character. Her comment about there's a queer superhero film that gets made, and she's like, where's the asexual hero? Because there never is one. I really liked the last part of this book, and I won't go into spoilers for the ending. However, we do get to see how Misha begins to realize how and why all of these characters from his films and from films the studio that he works for produces, how they begin to interact with the world and the rules and the limitations that they have, and he begins to play with those and use them to his advantage in order to start changing the narrative, and then recognizing that once he's changed the narrative that there is still an underlying issue and how you get around that. It was cool. I love that whole idea. I love that it is talking about capitalism and the way that people will do anything for money. I am not the person to be going into an in-depth discussion on that as a topic, but I think particularly in 2025 we can all agree that the people with the most money should not be the people making the most decisions that affect the majority of people, because usually their decision making is driven by profits, and just because something makes a profit doesn't necessarily make it a good thing. But yes, I really enjoyed this. I will definitely be picking up more Chuck Tingle books in the future. I'm waiting for, I think I've got Camp Damascus on hold from the library, so, well, I've got a hold on it, so I'm waiting for it to come in. And I'm definitely intrigued by the two most recent books as well. I think I'll probably grab myself a physical copy of Bury Your Gaze because I really enjoyed it. I think it was great. So I am very, very happy that I finally picked it up and read it. That was a great choice, and I am glad that I read it during the daytime because I am the biggest scaredy cat, and I will have to read something else tonight. I've got a couple of novellas that I'm going to pull out because I'm going to need to have something else on my brain before I go to bed tonight. But that said, it is like 10 to 4, so it's only taking me a couple of hours to read it. I had a great time, very, very invested in the story, and I'm just very glad that I had people giving me the push to pick it up sooner rather than later. So there we go. That's a very short, very impromptu reading reaction vlog for a book that I was not expecting to post a random reading reaction vlog video for on this channel. In the comments, I'd love to know, have you read the book? Are you planning on picking it up? Feel free to chat with me about it in the comments. Otherwise, feel free to leave a pride flag emoji to let me know that you're here. I hope that wherever you're in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.